Hello everybody, it's the 15th of September 2015, it's Dan here from Essex, United Kingdom. Welcome to part 2 of my grape series. Now, this is variety Lakemont Seedless. Now, this is probably my best vine that I have. Been in the ground about 4 years, I believe, and it is extremely productive. I believe it must be on a very vigorous rootstock. Now, Lakemont Seedless is believed to be the best variety to grow outside in the UK. This is an American variety, and this vine has done very well. So I'll just give you a little tour of it. So as you can see, we have plenty of bunches of grapes. They're all under here, all there, in there. I estimate there's around 200 bunches of grapes here, so I'm quite happy with that. Now you can see that I've not adhered to my own advice of removing a lot of the foliage around the bunches. Of course, I can't always get to this vine, and with everything else to do in the garden, work, etc., I don't always have the time, but even so, you can see that they're doing well. Now, they go a sort of a greenish yellow when they're ready, and they're almost honey-like in taste. Now, this is up against a south-facing fence, so of course, if you're going to grow a grapevine outside, south-facing wall or fence is good, because it gets the heat from the fence or the wall. So as you can see, no shortage of grapes here. And I'm just going to do an upward shot of the vine. There you go. So you can see the sheer volume of the grapes. Probably going to juice these, to be honest. We're starting to eat them already, even though they're not 100% ready yet, but of course I don't want these to all go rotten, and we have a problem with squirrels here, and of course wasps. They're not quite sweet enough yet for the wasps to really go for, but in a week or two they will be, especially if we get some sunshine. Okay, this brings me on to my next vine. This is a variety called Muscat Bleu, which is a French variety, I believe. A little bit soury still. These are a seeded variety, but once again, a decent amount of grapes on there. As you can see, these have actually achieved a decent size, these ones. I presume it's because of the extra heat from the wall. And that brings me on to some other vines. You may remember in my garden I showed you a black grape up against a wall. Well, these were cuttings taken a few years ago from that vine. So as you can see, they pale into insignificance though compared to the Lakemont Seedless, but not a bad volume of grapes from that either. So other people, hopefully, these are very sweet actually, other people out there hopefully doing well with their grapes this year. I do advocate people growing grapes in the UK. Of course, here in the southeast, we do have probably the best climate in the UK for the grapes. But at the same time, if you live in another area, you can always try it in a polytunnel or a greenhouse, something like that. As you can see though, grapevines can go completely crazy, so you do need to be careful, keep them in check. I mean, as I've stated before, I can't always get to this vine to maintain it properly, but left to its own devices it's gone crazy. But this will be easier for me to sort it out in the winter, and I probably will take some more cuttings off of this. The majority of grapevines nowadays are grafted onto rootstocks, and I bought this off eBay a few years ago, this vine, about 3 or 4 years ago I believe, and literally when I put it in, the vine ended about here. So you can see it really has thickened up nicely, nice thick vine, and I reckon this is on a very, must be on a very vigorous rootstock, because for it to have produced like this, of course it's in a more or less perfect place against a south facing fence, and of course in this residential area it does tend to get rather warm because of the close proximity of the properties. I mean, look, they're all up in amongst here. Look at that, look. And just couldn't help myself. I know that it's not a grapevine, but this is a Concord self-fertile pear tree. Okay, hope you've enjoyed part 2. We'll speak soon.